Hello and welcome to another Albion Online Dev Talk. Today it's finally time to talk about our plans for 2022. Albion Online is an ever-growing sandbox MMORPG experience with major updates multiple times a year. And this year is going to be no different. Before we jump in to talk about our plans, however, let's take a quick look back at what happened in 2021. Last year was a year of overhauls, with Faction Warfare, Hellgates, the entire open world, guild seasons and other gameplay features receiving complete reworks to their experience and taking them to a new level. At the same time, we introduced entirely new content like War Gloves, Elite Levels and the Conqueror's Challenge, and a lot of new open world objectives. We also brought Albion Online to mobile devices and worked extensively on improving that experience throughout the year. In short, we made Albion Online better and more accessible to more players than ever before. In 2022, we want to continue that path. We want to find a good mixture of entirely new content, improvements to existing systems, and better accessibility for new players. In terms of improvements, we've already begun to work on a complete overhaul of the existing weapon lines, starting with the large variety of magic staffs in the game. All of these are receiving improvements to their visuals, audio and VFX, but also to their gameplay, with whole new spells getting added and outdated spells getting reworked. For the open world, we've identified castle fights and castle outposts as the next feature we want to improve upon. Making their chests spawn more dynamic and broadcasting their value on the world map will provide more of these fights all throughout the day and add to the dynamic experience of Albion's open world. And at the same time, we will also improve the castle layouts, visuals, and gameplay. Next in line to receive an update are the Roads of Avalon. Many players have been asking for these to be improved, and we have big plans for them. We'll be adding new content and increasing the rewards for playing the Roads of Avalon, and we'll also focus on making them more suited to small group play. On top of that, we're planning to introduce an entirely new type of road called the Mists, which focuses entirely on the solo player experience. Players will be able to enter the Mists through special entrances which take them to regions that can only be entered by other solo players via the Mists. These regions feature gameplay like gathering, charging mobs, treasures, mob camps, and other open world activities which players will be able to explore without the risk of getting overwhelmed by groups of hostile players. Offering more solo experiences is a key goal, but we also want to improve the accessibility of existing Outlands activities. For this purpose, we are working on replacing the existing Guild Finder functionality with a completely new system that makes it easier to connect with a guild that suits your interests, speaks your language, and plays in your time zone. And we're making access to the Outlands easier than ever by reworking the portal mechanics and having the existing cities expand through the portals into fortified Outland settlements. This will ensure players who want to try playing the Outlands have a safe area to arrive in after using an Outland portal and can take their time to learn about the shrines which protect them on their way into the Outlands. At the same time, experienced Outlands players get a more convenient location from which they can travel into the Outlands with full access to their respective cities' banks and marketplaces. Speaking of the Outlands, continuing with what we have started in the Lands Awakened update, we want to encourage more new and existing players to transition into Outlands gameplay. The key to this is to help people get familiar and comfortable with full loot PvP. In order to reduce the hassle of dying, your last equipment will automatically get saved as a loadout when you get killed, allowing you to more easily rebuy it from the marketplace. In addition to that, we will add more guides and tips to the game, teaching you about ganking and strategies you can employ to deal with it. For all of our long-term players, we're looking forward to shaking things up by introducing a regular recurring set of gameplay events. Crafting events will boost crafting in a particular item line for a short time, inviting players to take advantage of these opportunities and adding depth and dynamics to Albion's marketplace. At the same time, activity events will boost the attractiveness of different gameplay features like Hellgates, Faction Warfare, or open world roaming to create variety, new experiences, and reward proficiency in different activities. For gatherers, we're looking at improvements to gathering gear, like making its benefits item power dependent and reworking the abilities. We're also working on adding Tomes of Gathering as an additional reward. For our 5v5 players, we're planning to reinvigorate the Crystal League by moving away from full loot PvP for the tournament and the league qualification, but preserving the full loot battles as unique high-risk, high-reward content in Albion Online. Finally, we want to give PvP players the opportunity to collect trophies from their defeated enemies, which they can then display on their personal islands as a lasting memory of a victory over a guild or a particular player. All in all, you can see we have a large number of improvements to Albion Online in the works. And of course, this isn't all we're currently working on. Please remember that these features are all still in development and may change throughout the development process. We will keep you updated on our progress and will soon be ready to talk about some of these features in more detail. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this look at our current roadmap for 2022, and we're looking forward to your feedback and hearing what else you'd like to see us focus on. Stay tuned.